S. Chan presents educational video lectures as per the new UGC curriculum. Difficult concepts made easy. Study anywhere, anytime.
Accounting is known as a language of business. It is through accounting that we get information about all the financial transactions and financial events about a business.
If you want to study this topic in detail, refer to these books from S. Chan Publishing and Vikas Publishing House. Link is provided in the description box.
Hi, I am Neeti Nagar and I welcome you to S. Chan Academy. In this lecture, we will be studying about the accounting standards of India. So these are the Indian accounting standards issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So ICAI, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, has created an Indian version of the generally accepted accounting principles for application in the context of Indian companies. The benefits of having our own accounting standards are: it allows the companies to maintain their accounts year after year as consistent as possible, and it allows them to disclose every important information and fact about the business. When we follow the accounting standards while preparing our accounts, it does not leave any scope of any mishappening or misrepresentation of any information. Again, improve comparability. Following accounting standards, like there are a number of standards which are issued, if we follow these accounting standards diligently, then it makes our accounting statements, our financial statements, comparable with our past performance or what we expect from our business in future, and also within the firms of similar nature. It improves the quality not only of the financial statements and information and the interpretation of data of financial information, but also improves the quality of decisions that we make by keeping that financial statements and financial information as the basis. तो जब आपके फाइनेंशियल अकाउंट्स एक प्रॉपर फॉर्मेट में होते हैं, एक प्रॉपर स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो किया होता है, तब जो भी आउटपुट आपको आपके स्टेटमेंट से मिलेगा, अगर आप कोई भी डिसीजन उस इंफॉर्मेशन पे बेस करेंगे तो आपके डिसीजन की क्वालिटी और उसकी एप्लीकेबिलिटी भी इंक्रीज होती है. आपके डिसीजंस की एफिशिएंसी, आपके बिजनेस की एफिशिएंसी, वेदर इट्स अ प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और अ नॉन फॉर प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आपका बिजनेस बिग स्केल का है, स्मॉल स्केल का है, मीडियम स्केल का है, अगर आपके पास सही इन्फॉर्मेशन सही टाइम पे अवेलेबल होगी और एक्यूरेट इन्फॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल होगी, तो ये आपके बिजनेस की एफिशिएंसी को भी इंक्रीज करता है. अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 1 रिलेट्स टू द डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ फाइनेंशियल पॉलिसीज दैट यू आर फॉलोइंग. जो भी पॉलिसीज, लाइक इफ देयर आर नंबर ऑफ डिफरेंट प्रोसीजर्स विच आर अवेलेबल फॉर यू टू अप्लाई, जैसे हम डेप्रीसिएशन आपके एसेट को करते हैं, तो आप कौन से मेथड से उसको डिप्रीशिएट कर रहे हैं, या फिर अगर आप उस मेथड को चेंज करना चाहते हैं, आप कौन सा पॉलिसी, कौन सा प्रोसीजर फॉलो कर रहे हैं, वो आपको फर्स्ट अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में दिया होता है. सेकेंड अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इज अबाउट द वैल्यूएशन ऑफ इन्वेंट्रीज. आपके कंपनी में जो इन्वेंट्रीज हैं उनके वैल्यूएशन के लिए आप कौन सा मेथड फॉलो करते हैं. Accounting Standard 3, a very important accounting standard from financial accounting's perspective. It talks about the standards and policies and the rules which are followed while preparing of cash flow statements. Fourth accounting standard, like if there are any contingencies that may occur, then what and how it should be recorded in your book of accounts, that is taken care by accounting standard 4. Next, accounting standard 5 takes care of the profit or loss that has occurred in a previous period, and if there is a change that has been made in the policies that we are following for recording those profits and losses. Accounting standard 13, it takes care of the accounting of investments, like whatever the investments are of a business, how they are recorded, at what value they are recorded in our accounting books. Accounting standard 14 talks about the accounting statements of amalgamation that may take place with other business houses. So how the amalgamations or how the amalgamation statements are made, how these are accounted for in the financial statements. Accounting standard 15 talks about the employee benefits, employee stock exchange options, the stock options which are given to the employees as a benefit of retirement of their gratuity. These are taken care of under AS 15. Accounting standard 16, like if you are a subsidiary and you have a subsidiary of a parent company, that how much of a borrowing cost or how much of capital that you can borrow or lend to your subsidiary company as a parent company is taken care of under AS 16. Accounting standard 17 again takes care of segment reporting. If there are different subsidiaries and different segments, how their statements are to be made individually and how they are being consolidated. Accounting standard 18 takes care about the related party disclosures. Like if there is an equity holder that is holding of about, let's say, more than 50% of the holdings, and that person can influence the decisions that will be taken for the business, that also needs to be disclosed in the accounting books. Accounting standard 19 talks about the leases. अगर आप कोई plant, कोई land, कोई vehicle lease पे जब आप उसको लेते हैं अपने business में use करने के लिए, तो वो आपको disclose करना होता है as per accounting standard 19. Accounting standard 20 talks about the earning per share, that how it will be distributed, how it will be calculated, that is discussed under accounting standard 20. Accounting standard 21 talks about the consolidated financial statements, like we have talked in the earlier accounting standard. If there are multiple segments of a business, how their accounts will be consolidated and made individually, that is covered under accounting standard 21. Accounting standard 22 talks about the taxation policies that will be applicable on the income of the business. Accounting standard 23 is again about the consolidated financial statements, about the investment of associates in those consolidated firms. Accounting standard 24, that if there are multiple segments of your business and if you decide to discontinue some of the operations, or you want to drop some of the products, some of the services lines from your business, then how their profits, their costs, their losses will be recorded. These come under the accounting standard 24. Again, accounting standard 25, one of the very important accounting standards, it talks about the interim financial reporting. Till now we have talked about that we are making our financial recordings, financial statements, we are making recordings into them continuously throughout the year, and then we look at the picture of our business at the end of the accounting period. But accounting standard 25 talks about the interim recordings or interim financial reporting, like if you want to know the latest happenings or the latest picture you want to know within an accounting period, in between of an accounting period, that is covered under accounting standard 25. Accounting standard 26 talks about the intangible assets, like there are different assets that a business owns, a company owns, or tangible and intangible. Intangible assets of a company includes the goodwill, the patents, the intellectual property rights that a company owns. So how they will be recorded, depreciated, that comes under accounting standard 26. Accounting standard 27, financial reporting of interest in joint ventures. Like many a times it happens कि आपकी जो कंपनी है वो लेट्स से अगर बाहर कोई काम कर रही है या outside its boundaries, even if it's a state boundary. तो जैसे आपकी कंपनी किसी और कंपनी के साथ जॉइंट वेंचर में ऑपरेट कर रही है, लेट्स से विद इन द डोमेस्टिक बाउंड्रीज और फॉरेन बाउंड्रीज, तो उसको वो कैसे रिपोर्ट करेंगे, दैट कम्स अंडर अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 27. Accounting standard 28, impairment of assets. Like impaired assets are those assets which are the book value of those assets are less than the benefit that they can provide for you in future. आपकी जो भी asset, अगर ऐसी asset हैं जो आपको benefit उतना नहीं देंगी, जिनकी book value आपको होने वाले benefit से काफ़ी कम है, तो उनको आप किस तरह से record करेंगे, उसके rules क्या हैं, that comes under accounting standard 28. Then we have accounting standard provisions for contingent liabilities and contingent assets. Like we know that we keep a note in the balance sheet at the end of a balance sheet for contingent liabilities and contingent expenses, how they will be recorded and which contingent losses and which contingent profits will be recorded. They come under accounting standard 29. So now we will stop for a quick break. Till now we have discussed the basics of accounting standards, the Indian accounting standards, why they are needed, and we have very briefly discussed the different accounting standards that are to be followed by the Indian companies. After the break, we will discuss about the international financial reporting standards which are adopted globally.
Now quality learning is easily available at your doorstep. S. Chand Academy brings detailed lectures based on UGC curriculum as per the New Education Policy 2020. So do not forget to subscribe to the S. Chand Academy and access the wide world of knowledge conveniently sitting within the comfort of your home. Stay connected and keep watching S. Chand Academy. Happy learning!
Welcome to S. Chand Academy. Before the break, we have discussed about different accounting standards briefly, and now we will start with discussing about the international financial reporting standards. Now these are the set rules issued by international accounting standard boards to maintain a consistency globally. The objective of IFRS is to make the financial statements of global companies more transparent, comparable and consistent. Now there are certain options that come with applicability of IFRS, that is of adaptation and convergence. Like we can see that there are certain standards on the board. The adoption option gives us an option to adopt these standards as it is. Like जैसे आपका IFRS 1 है, तो जब आप उसे फर्स्ट टाइम अडॉप्ट करेंगे तो आप उसे एज इट इज अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं, otherwise they give you an option of convergence, like converting or adapting our own country's accounting standards with the international standards. So these are some of the international standards that we will be discussing. First off, IFRS 1, like if there is a corporation, nowadays what happens is that companies operate internationally, multinationally, globally. Now there are two different laws of our own country, laws of a host country or the country where you are starting your operations becomes difficult at times. So IFRS has given you these standards to follow which are accepted globally and currently are accepted in more than 144 countries. So first financial standard talks about the information, the rules, the policies and the procedures that will be followed in recording and maintaining the financial statements if you are adopting them for the first time. अगर आप पहली बार आपकी डोमेस्टिक कंपनी थी, अगर आप ग्लोबली एंटर करना चाहते हैं, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में एंटर करना चाहते हैं और आप चाहते हैं कि आपके जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स होंगी वो इन लाइन हो विद द ग्लोबल रिक्वायरमेंट्स, तो जब आप IFRS को अडॉप्ट करेंगे तब फर्स्ट IFRS में ये इंफॉर्मेशन, ये रूल्स, ये पॉलिसीज गिवन होती हैं कि आप अपने अकाउंट्स को कैसे मेंटेन करेंगे, कैसे रिकॉर्ड करेंगे. सेकेंड IFRS, नाउ इट टॉक्स अबाउट शेयर बेस्ड पेमेंट. शेयर बेस्ड पेमेंट एज इन कि अगर आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को शेयर इशू करते हैं, आपके पास ऑप्शन होता है कि आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को शेयर इशू कर सकते हैं, तो शेयर बेस्ड पेमेंट के लिए आपके पास क्या रूल्स होंगे, या आपने अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को शेयर इशू किए हैं एज अ पार्ट ऑफ पेमेंट, या ऑन द रिटायरमेंट आप उनको शेयर्स इशू करते हैं, आप उनको स्टॉक ऑप्शन का चांस देते हैं, तो उस पेमेंट को आप अपने अकाउंट्स में कैसे रिकॉर्ड करेंगे. थर्ड IFRS टॉक्स अबाउट द बिजनेस कॉम्बिनेशंस, लाइक डिफरेंट combination of business, different services, different products. अगर आप उनके प्रोडक्शन में, उनकी सर्विसेज में एंगेज्ड हैं, उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए we use IFRS 3. Now financial reporting standard 4 talks about the insurance contracts. So apart from certain contracts which are taken care of by other standards, most of the insurance contracts that a company enters into regarding their business, regarding their plant, regarding their asset, these are recorded as per the IFRS 4. Now IFRS 5 talks about the assets, the non-current assets which are being held for sale. जिन non-current assets के लिए you have a option to sell them, and certain operations that you are discontinuing from your business. These are recorded as per Financial Standard 5. IFRS 6 talks about the exploration and evaluation of mineral resources. Like if you want to enter into a business जिसका काम या जिसका बेसिक पर्पस होगा एक्सप्लोरेशन ऑफ मिनरल्स, उसकी बुक्स हम रिकॉर्ड करते हैं एज पर IFRS 6. Now if we look at the board, IFRS 7 and IFRS 9 looks kind of similar. दोनों आपके जो स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, वो बात करते हैं फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के बारे में, लेकिन 7th फाइनेंशियल स्टैंडर्ड जो है आपका, वो बात करता है डिस्क्लोजर्स के बारे में, कि आपके पास किस तरह के फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, उनकी ओनरशिप कैसी होगी, वो इशू कैसे होंगे. It talks about the basics of the financial instruments, whereas IFRS 9 talks about the disclosure of risk in those financial instruments. कि आपके जो financial instruments हैं, आपकी कंपनी के स्टॉक हैं, शेयर हैं, उनका जो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट है, उससे रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो आपको एज पर द रूल्स ऑफ IFRS 9 डिस्क्लोज करनी होती है. नाउ IFRS 8 talks about operating segments. Now there are many companies which operate in different geographical locations, or they have more than one product. So if a company has more than one operating segment, whether the same product is being sold in different geographical locations, or there are different products being sold in the same geographical location, when there are many segments to a business, their financial recordings, their financial transactions, their financial statements are made as per IFRS 8. What advantage does IFRS have over accounting standards, our Indian accounting standards? First of all, it is not mandatory for all the Indian companies to follow IFRS, but again, like we said, that when we go global or we go or it is advisable or advantageous for us, ये हमारे फ़ायदे के लिए ही होगा अगर हमारी कंपनी इंटरनेशनली ऑपरेट कर रही है, दैट वी फॉलो इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स. इट मेक्स आर accounts, our positions more transparent, more comparable, more global and more easily understandable for the global audience. So again, like we said, that it does not make it mandatory to follow the IFRS as it is. We are given two options, either to go for adoption or for adaptations. We can take these standards as they are, or we can modify them to suit as per our requirements, being within the limits of the accounting standards. Next, IFRS 10, that talks about the consolidated financial statements, which is of similar nature as to what we've done in accounting standards of consolidated financial statements, that if there are many segments of a business house, then how their accounts will be consolidated with the parent company. That talks about the joint arrangements, just like the joint ventures a company enters into. If a company enters into joint arrangement like for outsourcing a single part of a business, like many companies, they produce, they enter their main business is into manufacturing. When they enter into joint arrangements of, let's say they are outsourcing, आप marketing या sales outsource कर रहे हैं, तो वो आपका रिफ्लेक्ट जैसे होता है एज पर द रूल्स ऑफ IFRS 11. IFRS 12 takes care of disclosure of interest in other entities. If under the same name you have different businesses in different locations, that you have to disclose as per IFRS 12. Fair value measurement, आपकी जो assets होंगी वो fair value पे measure होंगी. IFRS 14 for regulation of deferral accounts. So IFRS 14 takes care of regulatory deferral accounts. आपके जो deferral accounts होते हैं वो accounts होते हैं जिनका benefit आपको उस साल में नहीं मिला है जिस साल उससे related आपका expense हुआ है, तो उसको आप कैसे regulate करेंगे, उसको आप कैसे record करेंगे, that comes under IFRS 14. IFRS 15 talks about revenue from contracts. If you enter into contract with customers, like many times it happens that if you are in a manufacturing business, आप कोई नया product launch कर रहे हैं, आप उसकी testing के लिए अगर customers के साथ contact में आते हैं, तो how that will be recorded, that if you are paying or earning through your customers. IFRS 16 simply talks about the leasing of plant, asset, furniture, land, and how they will be recorded. And IFRS 17 talks about the insurance contracts, the insurance related informations, insurance related statements. Like अगर आप business कर रहे हैं, there will be many things जो आप insurance जिसका कराएंगे अपने business के continuous operation के लिए. आप अपने प्लांट का इंश्योरेंस कराते हैं, प्लांट के लिए फायर इंश्योरेंस कराते हैं. देयर आर मेनी इंश्योरेंस दैट यू एंटर इनटू जब आप एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं, तो उसके लिए इंश्योरेंस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आप कैसे शो करेंगे अपने अकाउंट्स में, दैट कम्स अंडर IFRS 17. सो टुडे वी लर्नड अबाउट द अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स issued domestically within our country's boundaries by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which are called as Indian Accounting Standards meant for Indian companies, and also the international financial reporting standards, which are majorly applicable in United States and more other countries. And we talked about the international financial standards also, which are applicable globally in many countries, like currently around 144 countries. Thank you.
If you want to study this topic in detail, refer to these books from S. Chand Publishing and Vikas Publishing House. Link is provided in the description box. If you found our video interesting, please like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon.
All rights reserved. This video has been prepared for educational purposes only. No part of it may be reproduced or copied without the permission of the copyright holder.